So welcome everyone. My name is Amy Edwards. I am a platinum consultant with Team Sunset. And today we're going to go over mock bookings, and specifically today mock bookings through Vacation Express. So for those of you that may not know what a mock booking is, new agents or seasoned agents, sometimes people don't use mock bookings. Mock bookings are very important. It's basically an advertisement. It communicates that you're a travel agent. It communicates that you have specials, and it communicates kind of the types of travel that you specialize in. So you are announcing, I always say announcing to the world, because the more people that you tell you're a travel agent, the more business you are going to get. You want to make sure you expand outside of your local or outside of your social media, outside of your local networking. You want to make sure you expand across the world if you can. So you're going to tell people what specials you have for travel. A lot of people come to me and they'll say, hey, I haven't gotten any clients, or I haven't gotten much business. Nobody's reached out to me. And I always say, who knows you're a travel agent? So they'll show me their social media, and they'll have about 400 or 500 friends on there, maybe 100 friends on their business page. So about 500 or 600 friends total, or potential clients. And then I'll say, that's a very small portion of your city. That's a very small portion of probably people in your local community, and a very, very small portion of people throughout the entire world. So it's very important that you make it a goal that the entire world knows that you're a travel agent. Is the entire world going to know? Probably not the entire world, right? But as many people as you can reach to know that you're a travel agent, because there's never going to be too many travel agents, ever. In this day and age with social media and with networking in your community, there's never, ever going to be too many travel agents. I think I live in a very small town. In fact, we don't have Uber, we don't have DoorDash, but we aren't like a teeny small town. We have a Walmart, and we have quite a few stores and pizza and donuts and all that kind of stuff. But even though we're in a small town, there are 3 travel agents in my town. Almost as many pizza places as there are travel agents, right? So there is still enough people looking to travel, because our focus isn't our own town. Everyone on your street could be a travel agent, especially if you live in the city, or even if you live in the city, could be a travel agent, and you still have an outreach to the entire world. So never ever let that kind of get you deterred from running your business, because your focus is you and you being successful. And then always remember that the more you search about travel, especially on social media, the more travel is going to pop up, and it's really going to appear that your social media is saturated with travel or travel agents. So understand that anything that you search a lot of is going to affect your social media. Also, don't let that get you down, because it's just because it's what you're searching and it's what your social media thinks that you want to see all of. So just a few tips. I want to make sure that I always tell people, and I'm very honest, being consistent posting. So if you're worried about not getting enough clients, you're worried about not getting enough business or making any sales, you got to look at your consistency. You should be posting mock bookings. You can post them every day. It's probably best to post them every day. Get yourself a schedule. You could make up your mock bookings on, maybe Sunday, spend a couple hours once you get used to it, making mock bookings, post them throughout the week. But not only on your business page, on your personal pages, but also to the groups. You want to start adding yourself to social media groups, random groups. I'm in Hawaii travel tips, traveling with children. I'm in Disney packing ideas, so many different groups. And the more groups that you add on social media, the more they suggest for you that you can keep adding. I would say, make it a point to add 10 or 12 groups and 10 or 12 people to your social media every single day. Make that a goal of yours, because then you are expanding your outreach. So you're expanding your social media. And once you do that, after a couple of weeks, you're really, really going to notice that you're getting a lot more interaction. So be consistent. If you go to your mentor and you say, I'm not getting any clients, the first thing they're going to do is say, let me see your social media. Let me see your Google business page. Who knows that you are a travel agent? So just make sure that you do that. So you can get specials from any one of our vendors. So I'm going to just show you a few vendors outside of Vacation Express because I want to show you how easy it is to get these specials and to be able to announce the specials. So the first one I'm going to go on, we'll go on Carnival Cruise Line. So when you log in to almost any of the vendors, you are going to see some marketing tools. You're probably going to see a whole tab of marketing tools and trainings. Those are one of the two that you're going to use the most outside of booking. But what I also want you to look at are any specials. So for Carnival Cruise, I don't do a lot of cruise specials. So somebody that does Carnival Cruise, you can let me know if they're in here, or sometimes I have to move my controls out of the way. Or if you just scroll down, a lot of times you're going to see the specials right here. See how there's some specials there? You can use these to advertise. Anything that's on the different vendor sites, you can use them for advertising. Alice, so very good question. So you said just because you join groups doesn't mean everyone in the group will see your post, right? That's absolutely right. That's why I like to join groups that aren't 3 million people, because once you post, it's going to get hidden really fast. I like to keep it under 100,000. It's really good if it's under 50,000. So you can join some groups that are a lot of, some really popular groups, or you can join some ones that aren't as popular. If you join groups that are 500 to 1,000 people, you probably won't get as much exposure than, of course, if you join one with 50,000 people. Also, you want to make sure, and I forgot to mention this, thank you, Alice, for reminding me, you want to make sure you read the rules, because you can't post specials in all of the groups. I'm a member of the Hawaii Travel Tips. There's probably 75 different groups about Hawaii and Disney travel tips. And so a lot of times when I'm in there, I'll watch the post of people asking questions, and then I will answer their question, and then I'll add them as a friend. If you provide value to somebody and then you send them a friend request, they're typically going to accept your friend request. Do you want to go in there and start going through and friend requesting all the people? Probably not. You want to make sure you're following the rules. Some of the groups will say, travel agents, please don't bother people, or please don't announce that you're a travel agent. But if you have some tips for them, even if you're not planning their trip, and then you go and request them as a friend, especially from your business page, they're probably going to look in to going with a travel agent, especially if they don't have to pay any upfront cost. Or sometimes even if they do, they're obviously there asking for tips, and so they're already a little bit overwhelmed or confused. So very good question, Alice. Yes, if you join a group that's with 50,000 people, that doesn't mean that those 50,000 people are going to see it. So you should post, I would say, in 3 different groups in the morning, 3 different groups in the afternoon, and 3 different groups in the evening. That way you're really expanding your reach to everyone, and people are going to see your post, and you're doing it periodically throughout the day to prevent going to Facebook jail. Or LinkedIn has many groups. Instagram is starting with a lot of groups, so you can do that as well. Also, these specials that I'm going to show you, you're going to see many of them are going to have a date span. And so you can get the specials typically for the whole month, or it's good through the end of the year. So you can keep recycling these mock bookings that you are going to be creating. You just need to keep a list and know when they expire. Also, if you get a lot of good feedback, a lot of times Disney or all-inclusive resorts, they get a lot of good feedback because people don't know that they can even afford a vacation. If I were to tell 10 people, did you know that you could go to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico for a lot less, probably half the price, than you could take a trip to Disney? And most people would be like, are you kidding me? All the meals are included. Most of the activities are included. And I'm going to go out of the country for less than I can go to Disney. Most people don't understand that. Once they realize that, they're like, yeah, get me a quote here. And so a lot of people don't know that they can afford a vacation until they actually see the specials that you post. All right, so as you scroll down, we're gonna go to Carnival. Here, like this one, I see it said the booking window now through October 31st. So you could actually probably post this until like October 28th. Oh, this one's a travel advisor sale. Sorry, don't post a travel advisor sale. So these ones are travel advisors, but you can go to any of them that are not travel advisor sales, and you can use any of the promotional material that Carnival has. Disney has specials, so we're going to go to disneytravelagents.com. I'm going to go ahead and log into Disney. And whatever your niche is what you can specialize in. That's probably where you're going to get, wherever your niche is going to be your passion and where you're going to get the most out of. Now, I always say if your specializes in cruises, maybe do a few mock bookings that are not just cruises. That way you're kind of expanding your outreach and you're making sure that people know that you can book any type of travel, but your passion is going to be for cruises. So that's probably where you're going to spend the most time at, throwing in a couple of different options. So on Disney Travel Agents, if you go here to the reservations and offers, you can see all of these offers here. You be really careful sharing any type of photos from Disney. If there are photos that they give you, you can do it. Disney Travel Agents has an actual Facebook site where they tell you what you can post. But because Disney is so copyrighted, I'm always really careful with Disney. If you ever have any questions, reach out to your mentor, your gold or platinum leaders, just to make sure you're covering yourself with Disney. All right, so now I'm going to, that's just to kind of show you that you can get a special from any one of our vendors, whatever that you want to focus on. I am going to show you Vacation Express today because Vacation Express, you get an email typically once a week, sometimes more than once a week, with actual specials in there. Every time you get an email from Vacation Express, there's usually 3 to 5 specials that you can turn into a mock booking really quickly. So as you notice, as soon as I open Vacation Express, I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and I have to move my controls out of the way if you see my mouse going all over the place. Brene, yes, you do have to register for Vacation Express. So for those of you who are very new, let me show you how to do that really quick. I usually show that every time I focus on a different supplier. So you are going to go to your back office. Go ahead and click log in. From your back office, you're going to go ahead and click on the Travel Cafe. The Travel Cafe is everything travel related and from Archer Travel. This is how you register for all of the preferred suppliers. If you want to register for additional suppliers outside of the Travel Cafe, you can. Your mentor will kind of walk you through a couple just to show you what to look for and ways that you can register. But in the Travel Cafe, you're going to go to the menu and you are going to click on suppliers and how to register. So you kind of look at this as an index card for all the preferred suppliers. I always tell new agents, anytime that you're registering with, calling, or booking with these suppliers, to open up this index card. They're in alphabetical order here. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way to the bottom to the V's. So here is Vacation Express. Open that up. So it's going to tell you a little bit about Vacation Express. It's mainly for Mexico and Caribbean getaways. It works really good for all-inclusive resorts. They pay up to 15% commissions, and then you are actually paid out at 50% commission total for Vacation Express. The nice thing about that, you can actually adjust your commissions to help cover from the 50 to 80%. But you can find also a lot of these resorts in VAX Vacation Access. So if you're worried about that 50%, you can, make sure that you can go into VAX and book most of these too. Here is the actual travel agent portal that you're going to do your bookings on. Here's the contact information. If you need to reach out to Vacation Express, I usually say don't contact those BDMs directly, just because they're super busy and they're just one person. Reach out to your mentor if you have something you need to ask, or if you need to call Vacation Express directly, their number is on their website. And then this is going to tell you how to register. So you're just going to self-register by clicking this link. And then any additional information. So when prompted to input the travel agency info, so you're always the travel agent. You are an independent travel agent. When I put in the travel agency info, here's Archer's information. Anytime you see a consortia on any of the registrations, it's always going to be Travel Leaders or Travel Leaders Network. All right. So I'm going to go back here then to Vacation Express. I'm all signed in, and as you can see, here are the specials rolling across the screen. You can never go wrong with Cancun. This one's really nice. You can include air in your special. Now, if you're like me, I'm from the Midwest, and so typically if I include air, I do it out of Chicago or Detroit. But if you live in Florida and you're including air from Florida, and then you reach someone who's maybe in the Midwest, the price is going to be very different because their airfare is obviously going to be a lot more. So it's really up to you if you want to include airfare in your special, or you can just do an amount per person and then say air is additional. And that's completely up to you how you want to do that. And the more specials you run and the more interaction you get, you're going to figure out what you are more comfortable posting and what more people are asking you directly. But I find the all-inclusive resorts really get a lot of feedback, good feedback. I also like to look through Vacation Express and see if anything is on special, so to speak. So if I'm going to get a bonus commission for booking with one of the resorts, I am going to do a mock booking for that resort because I'm going to do anything I can to get some bonus commission. So we're going to go ahead and just click this one. This is the one that popped up. And I really think a Cancun exclusive 6 nights all inclusive is a really good idea. And I think I've seen this one in my email as well. Vacation Express is really, really easy to go through. Another way to get a good mock booking is if you're doing a quote for one of your clients, go ahead and duplicate that to a mock booking. So I did a quote for Royal Caribbean Cruise just the other day for a family of 5, which is typically unheard of because most rooms on a cruise ship are for 4. So I went ahead and I saved that, and then I am going to post that exact quoted price as a mock booking on my social media. So as you can see, when I open that up, it's going to open up I can do the package, I can do the hotel only, and then of course I don't really want to do air only. I don't usually do mock bookings on just airlines. People don't usually just do, air when they're looking for specials. Air is something that's, someplace they have to go and they'll ask for air only. So here are your best deals. And again, in here, I can search by different destinations. One thing I also like about Vacation Express is if you have a large group, let's say you have a family reunion and they want to go to Hawaii. They have group travel. They actually have a group service who pretty much set up your entire itinerary and your entire quote. So most of our vendors have that group service where I don't want to say they do the work for you, but they do a lot of the legwork. And so you kind of have the package pre-built and then you can customize from there. So I'm going to go ahead for this one. Down here, it's going to say $9.99 price includes 6-night deluxe oceanfront double with balcony accommodations, meals, drinks, nonstop flights, and taxes. Save up to $1,250 per person at Crystal Grand Cancun, and great deals also available at El Dorado, Seaside Palms, and Planet Hollywood. I really like Planet Hollywood Cancun. Some people don't like that one, but I really like that one. Now, this is really important when you're doing a mock booking. See how that says book by 10/20, and these are the travel dates. You want to make sure when they limit your travel dates that you put that in your mock booking. As you scroll down a little bit farther, here's where the nonstop air is from. So you can do Cincinnati, Buffalo, Columbus. They have a 7-night package with nonstop air from Detroit, which is typically what I look for. But you're going to notice when your mock bookings are under 1,000 a person, you're going to get a little more, you're going to get more people kind of interested. That's just what I've noticed, and it's completely up to you what you want to do. And again, I kind of like Planet Hollywood Cancun. You can see here that there's a $500 resort credit with Planet Hollywood, all inclusive. You know, these are all good information that you can put in your mock booking. So what I would do is I would just highlight this, and then I'm going to open up my little note tab so that I can paste that on my social media. So I'm just going to copy and paste that and save it for when we post it to social media. Just a second to get one of these to open. And then I'll copy and paste this because I want to make sure that I have the exact resort name. I don't want to give anyone any photos outside of that resort. And again, I can do 7-night or 6-night packages. I think 7 and 6-night are kind of a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to build a package as well. So departure airport is going to be Detroit. Destination is going to be Cancun. We're going to do a family-friendly 4.5-star and up. We're going to see if we can find this special in that. I'm going to choose, and again, I don't have to choose the departure date, but I'm going to go ahead and choose that departure date. Oh, I must have selected something wrong there. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to go. Let's do kind of a spring break. So in the Midwest, spring break's a little bit early this year. For my area, it's the 24th through the 31st. And so I'm going to do the 24th, and I'm going to do 5 nights. And then I'm going to do 1 room, 2 adults, 2 children, and make it a family one. And then depending on the age, I usually do one that's over, you know, I usually do between 13 and 14, just to kind of get a little teeny bit of a higher price in case they have a, you know, a teenager, and sometimes the teenagers are over 12 or charged as an adult on all inclusive, and then I'll do an 8-year-old. And then I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And green for the best deals with Vacation Express for nonstop flights. All right, we're going to go to the 25th then. That's the best deal. We're going to leave on the 25th. So on here, you are going to see on the 25th, kind of went all the way out to April 1st. You are going to see 10:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Really good flight times. You're getting in just before check-in. And then the home, it's going to be 2 p.m. to 6:15. Little bit of a late flight, but I guess it's not too bad. So I'll just go ahead and leave that for now. All right, so we want to look for, see if Planet Hollywood is in this package. Planet Hollywood Cancun. We're going to click on view rooms and rates. And as you can see here, it's all inclusive. And then it says kids 12. So it looks like 12 and up can go. So for that one, I'm not sure if we can do the 8-year-old. Oh, max kids age, sorry. So it looks like anybody over 12 is going to get charged at full price. And up here you can see FP is family plan, adults only, and then IP is the inclusive plan available. All right, so now let's see, Entourage Junior Suite is usually, I usually go with the Junior Suites. You can obviously click on here. You can see a photo of the actual Junior Suites that are available. Or you can get a nice overview. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that because I'm going to use a couple of those points in my social media post. So we'll go ahead and go to the Junior Suite. We're going to select that. And then we're going to select that hotel. So here are our flights. Here is the hotel. I can click on here and I can actually open up the entire hotel, and I can grab photos from here. I usually like to go to TripAdvisor for photos, but as you can see here, these photos are pretty good. As long as they're not looking pixelated or too small, you can use these. I usually do 2 of the outside, 1 of a restaurant area, and 1 of the room. Be really careful though, not to get a luxury room if you're doing a junior suite or just a regular room. Here are some highlights of the room. People like to know how many bars and how many restaurants. So again, I just copy this and I put it in my little notes so that I know what to advertise on that post that I'm going to make. I can use, I think I already copied most of these. Here are a couple of different options that you can let them know that they will get, especially if you wanted to do like for the spa treatment. We won't go into too many details there. I really like using the nice little paragraph that they give about the hotel. So I have one about the room that I'm going to pick a few things out of. But this one is actually about the hotel. So I'll copy that and share that. And then if I go to the rooms, sometimes if I go to a junior suite, they'll let you see an actual picture of the room. I don't remember if we had a junior suite ocean view. Just says junior suite all inclusive. Oh, right here. Okay, so they don't have photos right in here. I also usually, see how this says it's a 5-star? I'll usually go to TripAdvisor and I'll make sure. In fact, I'll show you that right now. I want to look at the most recent reviews, and TripAdvisor pretty much has any deal or any hotel I've ever researched is always on TripAdvisor. So again, we're looking for Planet Hollywood, Cancun. Here's some really good photos. Usually I'll click on all photos. So I haven't ran into a problem, but I know that some people, like if they post on Google, Google will recognize if it's a copyrighted photo and sometimes they'll kick it off of there. So if you go into TripAdvisors and you go to all photos, they will typically show you the photos taken at the resort. So they'll show you the difference in photos. Let me just look and see. Sometimes I just have to give a really quick. Usually there's more than 50. So mine doesn't seem to be loading right now, but usually it'll say right across here, photos taken from the property, photos posted by guests, and professional photos of the property. And I usually select the photos taken by management and I'll use those photos. I also make sure to go on here. You see how on TripAdvisor, it's more of a 3.5 star. So I usually go and I read the reviews from about the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 stays. I try not to find just the first bad one, and then I read into it a little bit further. Or some people, you know, they get angry because not all 12 restaurants are open, or sometimes COVID, you know, kind of shuts things down just a little bit. So I try to make sure that I go through that and they're still getting a good resort that doesn't have a ton of bad reviews. In here, I can make sure that I add in the round trip transfer from the hotel. So you get a shuttle van or bus service. They can, usually when there's kids, they don't really need the private service. So that usually works out okay. And then I can also, as I said, add in an additional service charge. So that commission is going to be $701.64. For Vacation Express, it's going to actually end up being $350. So if I wanted to add in, you know, to make about $450, I could just add in that extra $200. I can also go down here and I can, when you do the booking, you could add in, upgrade their transfer and any vacation protection plans. And then of course, any tours that they want to add on. That's why I really like Vacation Express, because they do have all of these options. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go with Planet Cancun or Planet Hollywood Cancun Resort. And then I'm gonna open this. I think I have it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this image. I'm gonna save it to. Yeah, that's a JPEG, so it may be a little pixelated. Let's see. So this is a nice outside bar area, so we can use that one. And then I would go on like TripAdvisor. I would go right to the website itself and I would look for one of the junior suites. So I can make sure I'm actually giving them a photo of the junior suite. I think that one's a really nice one. Kind of a night out, like an adult night out. And if they had anything special that was going on for kids, like it looks like they have a kids area, you definitely want to enhance that too. If they have teenagers, I think I would save this one. Oh, there's the pool area. Okay, so yes, definite pool area. All right, so there we go. So now we have some price points here. We have some we have some airline information. We can just say air included. And now we have kind of a total price here. And so what I would do is I would take this 84.48, and I know we said we're gonna keep it kind of under the price of 1,000 a person, which I could have done, but this went to April 1st. And I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I would adjust those dates to where it was, a little bit under that. And, maybe the next all-inclusive resort, I would go a little bit lower end than Planet Hollywood. So you're kind of doing different price points. The really nice thing also is this deposit. So their deposit is only $225 per person, and then they don't have to pay it off until February 23rd. So I always make sure to put that information in there. So if we do 84.48, we're going to say 2 adults and 2 children. Did that put it at 2 adults and 2 children? Yes. 84.48 divided by 4. So it's $2,000 a person. Yes, Judith, I am recording this. Yep. So this one's $2,000 a person. Again, I would adjust the dates so that it was a little bit less. So keep that in mind. I typically don't advertise at $2,000 a person. But this one is, the deposit is what you're really, really going to put on there. So you could put the 2,000 or the total price. You could put under $9,000 or, starting at $8,000, and you can put deposit of $225 a person. Something that makes it sound a little more affordable with payments. So now we're going to go to our social media since we have that all set. I'll close down some of these. I'm going to give that a second to open, and while that is opening, I want to go to my email to show you what the email actually looks like. If you wanted a really quick mock booking, maybe you were kind of running out of time. Well, that's loading for a second. I want to actually show you the email from Vacation Express and something that you could just copy and paste pretty quickly. Get the fuck out of your house. Get out of here. I'm going to stop my video so maybe it'll load a little bit faster. Really good question, Alice. So sometimes the public can get vacation plans. Most of the time it is exclusive to travel agents. A lot of times if you call a resort, some of them do payment at check-in. Most don't if it's an all-inclusive, but they can. I don't want to say 100% of the time it's only travel agents because that isn't always the case. But using a travel agent, they get to support a small business and they are able to come to you if they have any trouble. Their flight gets delayed. The hotel has a problem. You can rebook them and they're not spending, 2 nights before their vacation worrying about where they're going to stay because you're actually taking care of that for them. Does that make sense? All right, so while that's going. I'm going to show you the actual email. So here's the email we got from Vacation Express. Looks like just 7 hours ago. You see how this Punta Cana sale up to 40% off kids free deals from $778 a person. See how that's less than that $1,000 mark? And that is Detroit to Punta Cana. You could actually copy this and post this just as it is. You just want to make sure you save it to remember where you got it from. So if somebody comes to you in like 3 days and they say, hey, I seen you had a sale for an all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana, you can remember where you found this sale at. See how they have it all ready for you? You don't even have to go exactly through that entire booking. And I think mine is from Detroit because they know where I'm located, and that's where a lot of my quotes are through. I'm not sure if you are, in California, if you get the same airline point. I'd be curious to know that if somebody has this email, if they kind of customize it or if that's just standard. All right, let's see if the Facebook has loaded. I'm going to go to my business page. And again, you want to post this in multiple platforms. You want to post it on your business page. You want to post it on your personal page. Your choice. You don't have to post it on your personal page. You want to post it in groups, on your Instagram. If you're on TikTok, put that on TikTok. That TikTok seems to be very popular recently. So go ahead and put that on TikTok. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a post. All right, so I'm going to add photos. And if you have time, research that Facebook Meta because they have so many different options available now. It's so crazy. So I'm going to put these photos on. And again, I would do 4 to 5 photos total. And I would make sure one of them is actually of the room.
Amy?
Yes.
It's Cindy. On Vacation Express, my email is Cancun Beach Deals from Houston.
Okay, so it does go by your location.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for letting me know that.
You're welcome.
All right, so now my text for my post. So one thing you can do, and this again is personal preference, I don't usually put the name of the hotel. Are they going to be able to see it maybe in the photos? Maybe. I try not to choose a photo that has the name out there, but they might be able to tell what resort it is. But I don't want them calling the resort or researching it. I want them to come to me for that research. And so I'm going to put on there, let's see. So let's see, I had Vacation Like a Star. Here is what they had for me on there. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take out Planet Hollywood Cancun Resort at the famed all-inclusive resort. So I'm not going to say at a famed all-inclusive resort. The ultimate beachfront vacation locale featuring Hollywood memorabilia. I'm going to take out a few of these. I'm just going to edit it to make sure that I don't allude to the fact that it is Planet Hollywood. And then, of course, PH, Planet Hollywood. And I don't want to make it too long either, because I want to make sure that I can put my actual deals that I copied in there. So I could star these like this, just to kind of bring attention to them. And of course, the Shipwreck Cove, that's going to give it away. So I could definitely take that out. So that kind of gives some information there. In the middle here is where I would put, all right, starting at, so I kind of want to hide that a little. So starting at, was it 1,800 per person for a family of 4. And then I can put reserve now for a $225 deposit per person. Final payment due in February 2023. So reserve now for $225 deposit per person, final payment due February 2023. So this is going to show you what it looks like. You see how it says see more? I don't like that it says see more. I want to make sure that they see this. So that tells me I need to take out all of this. I want them to be able to see a little bit more at a first glance. You don't want them to have to read more. So you want to take some things out. Does that make sense? And then I think now with the meta, I can actually make that bold. I could be wrong. I think I can adjust the font now with that meta. I haven't experienced a lot with the meta. I've been keeping it kind of old fashioned, but that gives you kind of an idea there. So now this is what you are going to be sharing here. Now, I know that when you go to your actual social media page and you post this, you can now click share. But when you do that and you share, you're going to see all 4 of these photos, and you're only going to see the first line at the bottom. You want to make sure if you do that, you copy and paste this in your share field. I don't think it'll let me click it here, but you want to make sure that it's not just showing all these photos and just a couple words down here when you share it. You want to make sure when you're sharing it, this is all pronounced so that they can see that at first glance. And now you've advertised yourself as a travel agent. You've told people you have deals. You're letting them know they can have a payment plan with a low deposit. Vacation Express. This one doesn't, but some of them you can pay $25 extra and get a reduced deposit. So your deposit will go down to like $25 a person. And you'll see that option right up here. So that's another reason that I like Vacation Express. You know, I try to stay away from the 50% commission vendors, but I think my personal preference is Vacation Express. In the meta, you can now schedule this. So I can schedule this to post tomorrow at a certain time. I can schedule this to post tomorrow and then post again in 3 days and then post again in 5 days. That's the nice thing about using the new meta for Facebook, the new platform that they have for those business page. And since you're posting it on your business page, you can see the kind of reach it's getting. How many people are clicking it? How many people are viewing it? How many people actually seen it or scrolled past it? Does that kind of help you understand how a mock booking works? and how to be able to post them and where to find those deals. You're basically creating a booking all the way up to the payment, and then you're telling people what you can get that booking for. This is going to be perfect, Marley. Great. So it's hard for me when doing mock bookings to put my thought process kind of into a training. I feel like I skip over a little bit, but this is what is going to be your best marketing tool, and that is the mock bookings. Now, for those of you, I know some people are on Team Unstoppables, and you guys have your own website with all of the recorded trainings, but I also want to make sure, World Explorer Organization is a lot like the Team Unstoppables website, so you should be able to access everything. But we do have the worldexplorerorganization.com. And I want to make sure that those of you that are on Team Sky, Team Sunset, and World Explorers, that you go to this website and you make sure that you're looking at the mock booking trainings. We have them all the time. We try to have, 6 or 7 or 8 of those a month, because different trainers have different ideas. They have different tips. Emily does quite a few. So when you're on here and under marketing your business, you're going to see a lot of mock booking trainings. Also, and where you're going to find my training as well after I get this recording complete is going to be on YouTube. So you're going to be able to see, sorry about that, give that a second to open. You are going to see some different trainers, how they post mock bookings. So I'm going to show you 3 in particular. The first one is going to be Jody Wariski. And I always tell everybody, she is booked, it's over $1 million in travel, and she's been a travel agent just over 2 years. Alice, yes, you'll sign up through World Explorers. You just need to know your Platinum's name, and you're going to put in your agent ID, and then you will be accepted to World Explorers website. So Jody Wariski, she's a part of Rising Tide. She has booked over $1 million in travel, been a travel agent just over 2 years. She does a lot of mock booking trainings. So here is a link to her YouTube. And then you're very welcome, Marley. You have Emily Jimenez. Emily is absolutely amazing with marketing in general. So if you need some help with marketing and getting your name out there, check on her YouTube. She has a lot of great ideas using Branch Up, Google page. She does a nice training on Let's Find Some Deals. She's going to show you some other places that you can find some deals. Let's see. And then, of course, I'm going to show you mine. And then also Erica, she specializes, she does a lot of Disney stuff. And so she's going to teach you a lot of the tips and tricks about Disney. She is a real Disney fanatic. So if you want to specialize in Disney or more about Disney, there is Erica's link to her YouTube as well. So copy down those 4 YouTube channels. Really watch Jody Wariski. She has a lot of great ideas. She shows you quite a few different ways to do mock bookings. And mock bookings are what she stands by. She consistently posts them, and that's how she has such a huge clientele. She does the same thing we're doing. She learned the same way that we are learning. And because she does so many bookings, she gets a lot of the fam trips, and she gets a lot of invitations to travel. So make sure you do the mock bookings. Make sure that's kind of your main focus, so that you can start building up that clientele even before you learn how to directly book, because your mentor is going to be there to help you directly book. But learn how to do those mock bookings and really put your name and your face, your logo out into the world so people know that you're a travel agent. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'm going to open it up to any questions.